Team dynamics is a psychological forces that influence the direction of a team's behavior and performance. When the directions of some team's behavior, so behavior is how they behave each other in the organization, and their performance is also depends upon the behavior and their forces. Here the forces is energy, right? So what are the forces here? The psychological forces that I'm just going to explain in the team dynamics. So what are the learning objective here? So define teams and informal groups. Explain why employees join informal groups. Discuss the benefits and limitations of teams. Outline the team effectiveness model and discuss how task characteristics, team size, team composition influences team effectiveness. Discuss how the six team processes, team development, norms, rules, cohesion, trust, and mental model influence the team effectiveness. Discuss the features or characteristics and factors required for the success of self directed teams and remote teams. Identify four constraints on team decision making and discuss ways to improve decision making and creativity in teams. So, teamwork in Canadian finance. Teamwork has become very important and integral part of working in finance industry in Canada and globally. So take an example of Bank of Canada governor. Then challenges rates how well the members of each team work together. And even the RBC capital markets carefully selects applicants who are uh, understated and team oriented. What are teams? Teams are a group of two or more people, and a team exists to fulfill a purpose. It means there is a purpose behind creating a team. Interdependence and a need for collaboration. Some teams are interdependent. So, depending one team member is dependent upon the another team members, right? So, so that will happen in the organization. So interdependence means the task of one once they will complete it, and the second person definitely will complete the second step, and the second person's behavior and actions also depends upon the third one. So for take an example of the software programs. So some of the application software are customized based maybe created in the IT field or a company. So one part of that is completed, maybe the web page design, the front end. The back end will be done by some other people. If there is some problems in creating and the creating the codes, so the front end people, the software developer will call to the programming like coding engineer regarding this. Another team member may be there. The third team member will be mutual accountability, which means the member influence each other, right? So all of the members in the team will be held responsible for the task. That I have given one example in the software company. Perceive themselves to be a team. So they will consider that we are a team, not a one person. When a person consider that we are a team, teamwork will be done, and they will feel so much confidence because the one person is having problem will discuss with another person who is having expertise in that. In this way, there will be productivity will increase, efficiency will go up. So there are the different types of teams. uh, Permanence means how long the team will exist. Sometimes teams are created only for a small project. When the project is created, the team uh, will not be there, right? So that will be stopped. That will be disintegrated. Skill diversity. So degree that team members have different skills and knowledge. Authority dispersion. Decision making distributed throughout the team. In the teamwork, all the decisions will be taken by one of the member, or sometime the team member will decide who will be taking the important decision regarding to the what are the objective, right, to achieve the objective and the goals of the organization. Informal groups, sometimes formal teams, sometimes informal teams, right? There are some benefits of informal teams as well. So groups that exist primarily for the benefit of their members. So reasons why informal groups exist. Number of reasons are there. Innate drive to bond. Sometimes the people are good in having good relationship and bonding. Social integrity and goal accomplishment. Emotional support as well. So informal group potentially benefit the organization. Informal groups are also the backbone of the social networks, which are important source of trust building and information sharing. Now we have some advantages and some problems or challenges of teams. If we talk about the advantage as a better decision and better product or services development. Next is we have better information sharing and coordination. Once we have team, and definitely one word that will come: sharing of information, sharing of knowledge, sharing of thoughts. Not only sharing, but the coordination is there. For example, the one team member has explained the one thing that Mr. A explained that I have completed this task, right? And Mr. A is saying to uh, this exact information to Mr. B that I have completed this task. Let Mr. C know the task is completed. Now, this is the main thing that you need to do, or email to the owner, or email to the client, or email to the another member in the team. But if B is not performing his or her duty properly, it means there is a lack of coordination, which will badly affect the productivity of the company. Higher motivation due to team membership. So accountable to the team, and team members monitor each other performance. So in the teams, each member will look into the performance, efficiency, skills of another person and get motivated automatically, because this is what is happening. When there is a team member, they will say, okay, so one person has completed his or her task completely, definitely I will put my more efforts, right, to complete this task efficiently. Whenever there will be some problems, they will have a conversation, and the communication lines should be open while taking the company at the higher level. Not only the advantage, we have some teams challenges. Sometimes we say and say that individuals are better than teams for some task. So some of the tasks are there. Some say like, so if the task is given to the one person instead of two, then performance will be more, right? Sometimes when work is not so complex and one person possesses all necessary ability, then that kind of work should be delegated, should be given to individual instead of team. Um, then next challenge we have process losses. Task time for members to resolve a disagreement and mutually understand goals. Sometimes there is some problem they just want to resolve on that, and some people they are not agree upon this particular things or a process. Again, that will be the problem, and it kills a lot of time. Then process losses increases, or with the team diversity there may be some more conflict, and that same kind of loss amplifies or increase when adding new member, adding people to a late software project make it later. The efficiency, speed, and time problems arises when the new member join in the team later on, maybe after a week. So in this case, whatever the work was completed, sometimes it will be very difficult to cope up and to adjust by the new members who joined with the same level. Next, we have a social living, means like sometimes feel lazy. Employee exert less efforts, put less efforts in group than working alone. They just put the effort, or they were thinking, we have a team members that another person is doing well, no need to do this one. Ultimate goal that we will achieve, right? So production will be done. Sometimes they feel lazy. Some of the members can feel lazy. So productivity will go down. But this is also one of the problem that we can find in the teams. Now, social loafing causes. What are the different causes and what are the solution of this? Why people feel like lazy or just ignore the things and not serious or inserious? So the social loafing is more likely to occur when the individual performance is not evaluated, right? It is normally hidden and which cannot be distinguished or distinguishable. One product is someone is creating one product, the output is like for example 20 units in a day. Who has put more efforts? So sometime in that scenarios, it is sometimes very difficult to come to know like which member in the team has put more efforts, which member in the team has put very less efforts, right? So input cannot be calculated in some of the cases. So other people will say my performance is not evaluated, it is a hidden, so why should I do this one? Then the social looping occurs. When work has low motivation, sometimes the work is so boring and low task significance, then that is also one of the problem, right? And one of the cause of social looping. Due to individual features or characteristics, when employee lack motivation to help a team goals, right? So employee don't believe their their effort affects the team success. Sometimes they don't think that if I put more efforts or less efforts, then productivity will remain same. This may come in the mind of the people, right, and the team members. More normally this happens when the team members, there are a number of team members, means in the big or large teams. So if one person is doing less job, it's not going to affect anything. The social looping, this is the cause. How to minimize or minimizing the social looping? Number of ways are there. So to minimize the social looping, form smaller teams instead of very big. So individual performance will be more noticeable in that case. Measure individual performance. There should be some criteria to measure the evaluations and the performance of the one, even a one person or individual. Specialized tasks. So individual efforts and performance are more noticeable. Increased job enrichment. So especially task significance and increase the mindfulness of team obligations, that have employees declare their commitment to the team and make employees more aware of social looping problems. Explain to the employees why there is social looping occurs. So in this way, the employee or the team member who is working in the group or working in the team will be beforehand awaiting that these are the reasons I should do, I should not do this one. Then now we have team effectiveness model. So in the team effectiveness model, we find that the team design. So first of all, if we talk about the team design, organizational and team environment, team processes, so we have and team outcome that can be calculated. So team outcome we can see like this here on the right hand side. On the left hand side, the organization and team environment, the whole organization, and uh, what kind of team that we have. So first of all, in the team, there should be a proper communication system which facilitate and coordination among the team members. Then organizational leadership that values team diversity and all team members, not only the stars. Then organizational structure assign a discrete cluster and group of work activity to teams. Physical space, if we talk about the physical space, physical layout makes a difference as well in the team, right? A reward system, if you think, at least partly rewarded for the team performance should be there in the organization. So now if we say like, so we have organization, teams and environment and team design. If we talk about how the team can be designed and what are the things that need to be considered, that what are the task characteristics. Like if the task that need to be completed on time, right? So what are the task features, task characteristics, and what is the team size and the team composition, what are the members, what kind of skills are required. So that will be considered at the time of a team design. Once the team design work is done, then team process. So when we look at the team process, the team development, team norms, what are the role of the teams, and cohesion, and team trust, and team mental model. Then the outcome will be the team effectiveness. So the team effectiveness means like the work which was assigned. So this work is completed. Hmm. Then satisfy member needs, then maintain the team survival. Sometime what happen, the team due to conflict, some members in the team they leave because of the incompatibility, so they are not compatible with the team. So team survival is also one of the important things that comes in the team effectiveness model. Organization and the team environment. So in the organization and team environment, we have some system like a communication system which facilitate the coordination among the team members. Organization leadership that values team diversity and all team members not star. Organizational structure assign discrete cluster of work activity to team. Physical space, so physical layout makes a difference. And reward system, at least partly rewarded for the team performance. So when there is a reward system in the organization, definitely people mm, when they get a reward, the maybe a monetary or non-monetary award, maybe some promotions. So in this case, in this way, what happened, the efficiency and efficiency increase slowly, right? They have faith in the organizations, and the people who are involved in the decision making process will do more participation. So best task characteristics for teams. complex task divisible into specialized role. So sometimes it requires some skills, some knowledge beyond one person, right? And the possible to allocate parts of the work to people with those have a different skill set, right? So uh, number of complex tasks can easily be accomplished if those tasks is assigned according to the skill that individual possesses. Well structured task. So if there are well structured tasks, it's very easier to coordinate work among people. If the structure is well defined, then definitely the low task variability mean same task each day. Then high task analyzability. The work is predictable enough for the well established procedure. Then high task interdependence. Extent to which the team members must share their information and their expertise to perform their jobs. Sometimes it's upon the discretion whether to share or not. Sometimes they have to share some material or some material information and their own skills with the other members in the team. In this way, what will happen that the performance will definitely increase and higher task will be there when there is an interdependency. Higher interdependencies are usually better for team because of that it provides better communication, it provides better coordination, and there will be strong motivation for each member. For example, when team members have a different goals, right, but have high interdependence with others to achieve the goal, achieve those unique goals. So teamwork might create excessive conflict because if the one task is not completed and that person will be waiting for the task to complete by other person, then in the future, like if the boss or employer in the organization say what is your performance, what you did today, you will say just I just kept on waiting for the longer period of time because of the other person did not complete that task. So it means they are blaming each other. So it creates excessive conflict in the organization. So we have a level of task interdependence. So on the left hand side, we can see pooled interdependence. So pooled interdependence means sharing a common resources, equipments or budget. When in the team there is a one budget. Take an example that some manufacturing company, there is some procurement procedure should be done, some purchasing decisions that need to be taken. The budget is limited, right? They have resources with them. Maybe they have something like maybe $200,000 in the bank, the limited resources that we have. Some equipments are there, so the same equipment can be used a number of times by the number of people. So that is pooled interdependence, right? So shared resources we have and number of employees they are using those resources, right? So this is also one of the level of having a task interdependence. Second is a sequential interdependence. Means the first employee will complete one task, then it will go to the next one, and so on. This is the output of one person becomes a direct input for the another person. For example, this is sometime we can see in the assembly line, car assemblings, for example, mobile assembling. So the one thing is done, then the chip is created, and after the next step will be that then you have the outer cover, and next will be the packaging or screen or assembling, right? And the last will be packaging and advertisement. Reciprocal interdependence. It means the work output is exchanged back and forth among individuals. So in the medical team, Take an example of the surgery. Hmm? So there is a patient, right? So the patient need surgery for some specific reason, and there are a team of doctor. So one anesthesia is done, right? So by the one person, one doctor, before the surgery to be done. Then after the surgery, again there's a responsibility of the first doctor, right, to get the person alive, right? To get the person, like the person who was unconscious, so that they need to be conscious now. So later on, the proper dose that should be given at that time. And this is the medical line example. Some other examples also are there. The one they are depending upon each other. So that is uh, reciprocal interdependence. So this is also the level and the types of interdependence in the teams we have discussed. If you talk about the size of the team, sometimes it may be very small or a big, right? Smaller teams, no doubt, is the better because of the reason that less process loss will be there and better coordination and resolving the conflict. And they feel more engaged in the teamwork when there is a two, three, four, and five members. If there are 50 members, it may be very difficult to coordinate with all of them, right? So more influence and feel more responsible in the short team, in the small teams, and faster team development. It's very easy to create a short and a small teams, but team must be large enough to accomplish the task. But again, it depends on the task to task whether it should be small or it should be large enough. Now, the team composition, if we talk about, so the team composition consists of a number of things, specifically that we have some five C's. Now, the first start with the coordinating. So, coordinating means like align work with others and keep team on track. So, this is the coordination, right? So, all it depends upon the team behavior, team members' behavior. So, team work behavior is like so behave. What is that? So, behavior that maintain the team's existence and functionality. If they behave properly, the team will exist. Otherwise, their team will not exist. They have to break the team. Hmm? Next, we have communication. So in the communicating, the team information should be delivered freely, right, efficiently, respectfully, and share information and listen actively. So when the person is not listening actively, it means there's a lack of communication skills. So proper communication is required in the team. Comforting. So comforting mean here show empathy, right, and help each other, co-worker, and maintain the positive and healthy psychological state, right? uh, Maybe there should be some good feeling among the employees and the co-worker. In this way the confidence level they will increase, and that is the self-worth. Now conflict resolution or resolving. No doubt in each and every organization with the team members there may be a conflict, right? So conflict may arise because of a number of reasons. So the main thing is like how to resolve that conflict, so which is very important. So have skills and motivation to resolve the dysfunctional disagreement, right? So for example, that is effective diagnostic skills and use various conflict handling skills effectively should be implemented. Now, if we talk about the diverse team reorganizing, so this is one of the museum, right? So this is one of the example that I'm going to explain. So this is the one museums is this is the name that if you Google it, you will be able to find it very easily. It is museum recognized its public display area around historical time period. For each era, the Dutch Museum formed a diverse team with a staff representing the numerous specialized collection. Right? So this is one of the website. If you would like to go in detail with this, right? So you can just write the name of the website from here. Now next we have a team composition and diversity. Extent that team members have diverse knowledge, diverse skills, diverse values, and mental model perspectives. So, what are the advantage of the diversity here, like team compositions? View problems and alternative from different perspectives, and broad knowledge base, and better represent the constituents. For example, the client or other department. Right? Disadvantage will be that slower team development. Sometimes it may be very difficult to create a team and take longer to develop a high performing team. Susceptible to fault lines, that which means that it reduces motivation to communicate and coordinate across fault lines. Sometimes they split the teams into subgroups by surface or deep level features, and they reduce motivation to communicate and coordinate across fault lines. Sometimes they don't want to communicate with each other, maybe because of the diversity. Right now, if we talk about the team process, cognitive and emotional dynamics forces of the team that continually change with the team's ongoing evolution and development. That includes the team development, norms, role, cohesion, trust, and mental models. Team development is the heart of team process, first of all, and the other processes are embedded in team development. So there are different stages. So stages of a team development. The first stage is that starting from the bottom here, right? So that is the forming. Then forming, storming. Then we have norming, performance, and adjoining. So forming is discover expectations, evaluate the value of members. Each member in the team is valuable, but now if their membership is there, like the value of the membership don't need to be evaluated at the time of forming and developing of the team. So defer to existing authority, right? And test boundaries of behaviors. Next, we have storming. So sometimes there may be some interpersonal conflict and compete with the team roles, influence goals and means, and establish norms. So more conflict as a member compete for roles. So one role is there, there may be conflict. They just want this role is good for me. I want to do this role. I want to accomplish this role. I have experience. I've done. Other members saying, "Oh, I have expertise in this. I can do it very easily." Sometime that after making all the discussions, sometimes it's very difficult to assign the duties and the responsibility to the team members. So storming, this is the one storming stage. Storm that come like some different viewpoints, different perception in the team members. And after that, what if the storms are going to be normalized, establish some rules, right? So similar, or that should be similar mental models and expectation about how to accomplish those roles, and the team members should be agree upon the team objective and form team mental model and develop the cohesion or a group. Then performing. So if we talk about the performing, the team becomes more task oriented, and then efficient coordination Definitely will be there, because that at the beginning that we have considered all the plus and minus points. High cooperation and trust, and conflict resolved quickly. So when there will be a proper cooperation and there will be proper trust upon each other, then if in case a conflict arises, that can be resolved quickly. How that can be resolved? So everything should be planned before. The last, when everything, all the steps that completed, the last step, the fifth one is adjourning. So team is about to dissolve or disband. So members shift from the task to the relationship focus. When the task is completed, it will be dissolved. Now, team norms. If we talk about the team norms, so informal rules and shared expectation to regulate member behavior. Why team have some norms? What's the reason behind it? Right? So norms means some of the rules, some of the regulations. So they create in the teams. If the teams are there, some rules. If there will be no rule, no norms, then the team will be disintegrated, right? Very soon. So improve. Why they are there? So because they just want to improve the team performance and well-being, right? Then improving predictability and conflict avoidance with each members if there are rules. So routinize behavior with the minimal cognitive efforts means a better coordination and a better social order. Now sometime we need to enforce some of the rules, right? So other members use reward and sometime punishment because of the rules and because of the enforcement, right? Developing and changing team norms. Sometimes there may be need to modify the norms that we set at the beginning, right? So select team members with the mm, preferred values and post behavior. We set the rules, norms, but because of the rules, norms, um, the behavior of the employees or the team members just changing. If in the organization employers are looking into this and found that there is a negative outcome of this, the performance is not so good, so there may be some possibility and provision to change some rules and regulations. State desired norms when forming teams, and ongoing coaching of norms to team members step by step, and on the periodical basis they just need to remind and give some training towards that how to implement those norms which are here set for the team to achieve the common objective. Introduce team based reward that counter dysfunctional norms. Disband means the breakup. So breakup of teams with the dysfunctional norms. Now next, we have some roles. What are the different roles are there in the team? So that's not a team role. This is what is the meaning of role? So role means a set of behavior that people are expected to repeatedly perform because they hold formal and informal position in the team and organization. So now if we talk about the role versus norms, right? So what is the difference between two? Both establish and reinforce expected pattern of behavior. Right? Roles typically apply to one or few people, whereas norms typically apply to all members. So norms may be for a number of people, right? Maybe 10 or 20 or 30 or maybe all. These are the norms. But role, this is your role that you need to do this task. This is the second role. This is your role. You will complete your role and your job will be done. A role is like for the one or two people or maybe few people, but the norms is for the entire member, for all the members. So roles are acquired formally or informally. Some the formal, like in the formal way or informal way. So in both way, the role can be acquired. Hmm. Maybe through the positioning or through negotiation. So individual in this case attracted to roles that suit their personality may be shared but eventually claim or associated with one or more team members. So now if we talk about the types of roles, task, work role that helps and assists the team's performance means coordinating the team and providing a constructive critique and motivating team members in their task performance. Team roles that support team development and dynamics, that providing the emotional support and maintaining harmony and creating opportunity for the social interaction. Team cohesion, what is the meaning of the team cohesion? Means to ability of a team to work together towards a common goal is known as team cohesion. Means uh, team's ability, the working together to achieve target. Now we can see that team cohesion in the fire department. As a firefighter at the fire rescue department in Waterloo, Ontario, Patrick Matthew, the third from the left, you can see, and learned that the communal meals support the team's cohesion and trust. I have seen the immense team building benefits that result from the platoon cooking together. Team cohesion. This is the degree of attraction people feel towards the team and their motivation to remain members in the team means they will remain members in the team for the long period of time. So some of the factors that strengthen or speed up the team cohesion and means better team cohesion with a high member similarity. Generally generally it takes longer or more difficult for a diverse team to become cohesive, but this depends upon the form of diversity. Then small team size. If the size is too small, the smaller team usually more cohesive, easier to agree on goals and coordinate work activities. Each member has more influence on the team. Successful team fulfill members' need and goals. More external competition or challenges increase the cohesion. Now, the team cohesion and performance. High cohesion teams usually perform better because it motivated to maintain the membership and achieve the team objective and share information more frequently again and again they share their information because the team is more cohesive, right? And a high co-worker satisfaction, right? So they will be satisfied more and better social support. If there will be better social support, definitely they will be talking, they will be open, right? And cooperation will be there. It means they will minimize the stress, resolve conflict more quickly and effectively. So team cohesion and team performance affect each other. However, in the real world establishment or established teams, cohesion has a much stronger effect on a team performance than effect of the team performance on team cohesion. So cohesion increase performance. Performance will increase only because of the cohesion, right? Only when the task interdependence is high and team norms are consistent with the organizational objective. Now, next is the trust in team. Positive expectations one person has towards the another person or group in situations involving a risk. Sometimes there may be some risky job or risky task, right? If there is a risk, but in that case we need to have a trust on each other, right? So trust in a team is very important, and there are three level of trust. Calculus based means lower, right? So calculus based trust is a logical calculation that other team member will act appropriately. So lower potential trust and is easily broken and not enough to sustain a relationship. Next, we have knowledge based trust. It's based upon the confidence in the person's competencies. Whether that person is competent enough to complete this task should be included in the team or not, that is decided at the very beginning, at the time of the selection or team creation process. So if there is a more knowledge, then more and more stability will be there because it develops over time. Next is identification based team, means uh, it's based upon the mutual understanding and emotional bond. Next we have a swift trust. Swift trust is what? So this is initially a moderate or high level of trust in the coworker when people join a team. At the very beginning, when they join the team, there will be some trust at the time they build. The trust automatically builds. That comes in the subconscious mind of the people. Okay, so that we can trust each other. That person is trustworthy, right? So sometimes swift trust is fragile in a new relationship because it is based upon the assumptions. They assume that, oh, I will be at the right place or good place, and rather than their experience, right? So experience will be happen later on when they will be keep on involving in the team, and they will come to know about the plus and minus points and can easily be broken. Normally the swift trust can easily uh, breakable or can be broken. Now team mental models. So now mental model is what? It's the visual and relational image in our mind. We have something in our mind, perceptions, imaginations that we develop to describe and explain and predict the world around us. That is the mental model, so mental picture. Shared mental model says that all team members hold similar image, means one person, another person, and maybe the third person or third member in the team members, all they have the similar image, similar expectations about the team. Complementary mental models says that each member's mental model is unique but compatible with others. So benefits of the shared and complementary team mental models are definitely it improves the coordination because they have similar kind of images, similar kind of perceptions in their mind. Their mental model is exactly the similar. So because of the compatibility in their imagination, this board believes that the team is a functioning social entity. Directory of teams diverse knowledge repository, right? Means where the knowledge is located within teams. Team building, the formal activities are there that are try to speed up and improve the team development processes, right? So in this case, what happened? There are types of team buildings. Are there goal setting and building motivation to achieve the goal, problem solving, right? We know these are the normal terms that we. If there is a team, there may be some problems, right? So improve the team's problem solving skills and role clarification. When there is a pure clarity which task will be done by this team or members, which task will be done by the another team members. Whenever there is a role clarification, there will be less chances of having any conflict. So clarity, each member's perception of their role and the rule. So interpersonal relations build trust and strengthen the team cohesion. So team build can be effective under specific conditions. Self-directed teams, as it is clear from the name itself, self-directed team. So which is known as the cross-functional group organized around work processes and complete entire piece of work require interdependent task and autonomy over task decisions. So they are free to take decisions in the team, right? And there are a number of factors. They are known as success factors. So what are the success factors that are responsible for entire work process? When the team is there, the full team is responsible for the entire work which is completed by them, not an individual, not a one person. So it means making an entire product or providing the services, the full services to one client. So the whole team, if there is a team, the team will be responsible for that. High interdependence within the team. So this is the case of a self-directed team success factors. Then low interdependence with other teams. Within team it's okay. With another team, right? There are a number of teams, right? So if there is another team, there is a low interdependency. It means also one of the success factors. Autonomy to organize and coordinate work. Then work site technology, sport team, and communication and job enrichment. Now, if we talk about the remote or virtual dispersed team, so team those members operate across a space time. So these days we know that due to the coronavirus time, COVID-19 came and uh, the organization's working style have entirely and permanently changed. Some of the organization want other people to work from home and they save a lot of time and there is a win-win situation for both of them. So team whose members operate across space, across time, and organizational boundaries are linked through information technology to achieve the organization task. So, no doubt, this is differ from the traditional works in a different way. Mostly, it's divided in two ways. One or more member work remotely some of the time rather than always collocated. So, collocated here means that working in the same physical area, in the same physical area, working with a clunched manner, right, in the group manner. Mhm. So, due to lack of a collocation, right? Members depend primarily on the IT, say information technology, rather than the face-to-face interaction to commute and coordinate. Remote teams are more common and possible to create very easily than ever before because of that employees perform knowledge-based work rather than the physical production. Information technology makes it very easy or easier to communicate and coordinate at distance. Means like the people are working, for example, that some people are working here uh, in one part of the world, and they are hired from other organizations. They are helping to other people, right, through the information technology, by screen sharing, by video conferencing. They have a number of tools. So team decision making constraints. There may be some constraints related to that. What are those constraints at the time of creating a decision? Right? Team decision making. First will be the time constraints. So teams take longer than individual to make decisions because there may be conflictions. One team member say I'm agree, other members say I'm not agree. So like the third person may say I'm just confused. It will take a little time to think over it. Whenever the all these three persons sit together, right? Uh, then there will be some resolution, and they will take a decision on the particular point. So in this case, what happened? The production will block. There will be no any production because decision is required. Quick decision is required, but they are not having the same thoughts or same decision or a mental level. So definitely there will be some problem regarding the productions. The work will stop. Evaluation apprehension means like understanding the reluctance to mention the idea that seems silly because of the belief that other team members are silently evaluating them. So they think they don't want, they sometimes feel hesitation in giving some idea. They say, oh, this idea is not good. This is silly idea sometimes. So evaluation appreciation, right? They think like the other people, they will evaluate maybe in the wrong, positive or negative way. In that case, they do some less participation, right? So peer pressure to conform. Members might punish the violator or persuade him or her that the opinion is incorrect. Overconfidence. So sometimes overconfidence is one of the also constraint in some cases that inflated a team efficacy and cause a less constructive debate. So general guidelines for team decisions. Now, team decisions, some of the problems that we have discussed. Now, general guidelines we have the for the decision making in the team. The first one is check and balance. Ensure that leaders or other member don't dominate. Sometimes in the team, one people may be dominating to the another one, right? Team members. It should not be there. That who is going to check? Maybe the manager or the owner in the organization. So they will be checking all these things and maintain the optimal team size. It should not be so too small or too big, right? So that if it is there, that definitely minimize the production. So we don't want the production should stop. To minimize the production blocking and the process losses, there should be proper and optimal team size. Next is encourage team confidence, but be wary of overconfidence. There should not be overconfidence. Team norms encourage critical thinking. Yes, this is also one of the point that will help and can be included in the guidelines. Sport psychological safety. A shared belief that it is safe to engage in interpersonal risk taking and specifically or uh, you can say that presenting the unusual ideas constructive. Sometimes there will be some disagreement with the majority of the people or in the team member, some new experiments that come up with a new work or new project. Sometimes they will not result in co-workers posing the threat to the self-concept, right? Maybe due to they will say, if I will having some new idea may not be, other people may not accept those ideas. They may think another way around, and they think about their like status, their reputation, something. So there should be a sport, a psychological safety should be there. And next is use a team structure that encourage creativity. So introduce the team structure that definitely encourage those people who are of a creative mind, innovative idea they have. So in this way, there if it is become the guidelines, so decision making process will be really very easy. So creative team structure means a brainstorming. So brainstorming is what when we sit together, we have one topic, our discussion on the one particular problem, how to solve that problem. And there will be if dream if the brainstorming session is there, number of ideas that will come up. So in this case, that four brainstorming rules, we can say: speak freely, no any just a rule, and the fast rules that you should speak or not. If you have any idea, you can come up with idea and describe. Even uh, uh, even the idea is just a silly idea or a crazy idea, right? So all ideas, they are welcome in the brainstorming sessions. Don't criticize others or their ideas, which is this is one of the rule, right? uh, Provide as many ideas as possible and build on others' idea. So brainstorming is a successful in field studies and creative firms. Skilled facilitators, confident employees, psychological safety. Success is measured by the most creative ideas, not the number of ideas. Other creative team structures like brain writing. So brain writing is also one of uh, one of the tools that minimize the production blocking by removing conversation during idea generation. So that is brain writing. Individual write down and distribute their ideas to other. So individuals, they have their own creative mind, creative ideas. So those creative juices that are going to write, put down on writing, and after writing they are just going to share those ideas with each other. They're going to distribute their ideas to others, and who develop further ideas. On the basis of that, other people will have their idea, right? And they are going to make the further development of their ideas, and there is less production blocking than brainstorming. So for the brainstorming, IT play a very important role. So electronic brainstorming, so brainwriting with the technology. You can have some ideas, make a one folder or a file that everyone is writing their idea without specifying their names, but idea is generated, and they are just putting and storing the ideas somewhere, so that each member in the team will see those ideas and will try to develop and improve the existing or someone else ideas as well. So computer documents, as I explained, maybe MS Word documents or Excel file or some other software, they can be used and distribute ideas freely, so that the other people can participate anonymously.